Okay, back to living the Tanya. So the Tanya is called Sefer Shel Beinonim, in betweeners, uh, in the name of the awesome new book that came out on Tanya. I hope people are enjoying that. Um, um, so the Tanya revolves around these ideas. What is a tzaddik, a rasha, and a beinoni? The first half of chapter 1 that seemed to give many people fits, as I'm getting emails and comments. It very much revolves around undefining, the old ways of seeing what is tzaddik, rasha, and beinoni in Talmudic terms, legalistic terms, and coming to redefinitions of those words. And again, for most students, we get wrapped up in the language, defining it, trying to keep up with the daily Tanya cycle. It can be lost what these three terms are about. So let's touch on them, and then let's try to connect to all three of them in brief. Live, living Tanya live, in the car. Tanya talks on a road trip. So the first 8 chapters are follow-up to the Alter Rebbe telling us that we're two souls. We're not one soul, we're two souls. And he describes chapters 2, 3, 4, and 5, introduces us to the aspects of the godly soul, its essence, its faculties, and then its methods of expression, its garments. That's chapters 4 and 5. Then it goes 6, 7, and 8, discussing the comparison in the animal soul, what it's all about, and its essence and its faculties, and how it chooses to express itself. And chapter 9 is that these two souls are at battle, are at war. They each have a full suggestion of what they would like us to think, speak, and do all day long. I could listen to one 24/7. I could listen to the other 24/7, or at least when I'm in my waking state. But each one has a plan of, this is what I'd like you to think, speak, and do all day. And they have a voice. The voice of the animal soul is the Yitzhar. The voice of the godly soul is the Yetzer Tov. And they have a voice, and they've got a plan, and they have what they want us to do. And so that's the end of chapter 9. And then we go into chapter 10, where we discuss what is the tzaddik, and chapter 11, what is a rasha, and then 12 and 13, the beinoni. But the point is that tzaddik, rasha, and beinoni are 3 different states of being. We always want to know, how am I doing in life? So tzaddik, rasha, and beinoni are an expression of that. Where am I holding in this battle between my two souls? There's a tzaddik realm that I could enter. There's a beinoni realm that I could be in, and then there's a rasha realm I could be in. It all has to do with how am I doing with the state of these two souls. Let's define them super quickly, just so at least it's finally clear, like, what's going on over here. So the discussion between the 3 different states has to deal with the 3 methods of expression. You have to look at the person and these 3 terms in terms of the 3 methods of expression: thought, speech, and action, and then the inner world. The intellectual, emotional faculties of each soul, but really the voice of each of the souls. So this is where they're going to differ. A tzaddik is a person that in their thought, speech, and action, what we perceive of the person, their thought, speech, or action, there's only the godly soul expresses itself. Internal, it says external, internal. External is only godly soul, thought, speech, and action. Internal, I know, actually, thought is internal, but for ease, so it's only by the tzaddik, the godly soul is the only one whose suggestions are listened to in thought, speech, and action. I'm watching them change the garbage over here. Anyway, so the tzaddik is only the godly soul's suggestion, what to think, speak, and act, are listened to. And yeah, I gotta do videos without the friendly distraction. Anyway, so the tzaddik is only the thought, speech, and action is what the godly soul suggests. Now, what about internally? There's only one voice. There's only the voice of the godly soul. What he's interested in. There isn't an inner battle over what we'll think, speak, and do. Now let's go to the beinoni. The beinoni looks like the tzaddik externally and looks like the rasha internally. Externally, thought, speech, and action is only the suggestions of the godly soul. Internally, though, there's a battle. There's 2 voices. The animal soul's voice, its representation, is still there. So in the end, the person is choosing continually over and over again to express in thought, speech, and action that which the godly soul suggests, but it's not with ease, and it's not with the passion, because there's two voices. There's the distraction. The rasha will internally will look like the beinoni. He also has this battle between the two voices. Externally is where it differs. Externally is that it could be, let's put it like this: by the rasha, the animal soul's suggestions of what to think, speak, and do will also get expressed. How much, how often, which of the garments is already a separate discussion. But very quickly here, you've got a distinction between all three of these levels. And this is what the Alter Rebbe is giving to us: is that what is success in life is to reach that level of a beinoni, reach that state between one's two souls. Now here's an interesting point for living it, and we'll call it a day. If you look in your life, there are things that you have tzaddikt, and there are things that you have beinonid, and then there's the stuff that's still in rasha land. And again, some people have a rasha. What is a rasha? And this is another problem with Tanya, learning the Tanya. I guess this video is living and learning Tanya. They really go together. If we learn it properly, then we also can live it properly. But rasha, so we define things in Tanya, we translate it right away into English. Now there's translating and then there's translating. Just because I put a word into English doesn't mean it's going to work for me. Oftentimes it works against me. And we need to translate things into functional terms. Even the word translate itself in English also means you can translate something into action. I need to take it from one state and bring it into another. So this is a common problem by Tanya. I'm doing what I can in the car, trying to help people with this issue. But now, look in your life. There are things, let's say right now, that you want to make change in. Okay? And New Year's resolutions are still hot, I hope. I don't know. It's the end of January. People gave up already. I hope not. But anyway, there's things that I'm rashaing. I'm having a rasha experience. Oh, that was my point. Sorry. Rasha is this idea that it's not evil and wicked and you're bad and disgusting. I'm struggling. My animal soul is able to gain expression at times in my thought, speech, action. It's a functional definition. It's a level in which many of us grapple with, if not most. Anyway, so a lot of the things that I'm trying to make change. I'm trying to start an exercise program. Well, sometimes I'm able to express it and sometimes not. So there's a voice for doing the new thing. There's a voice against doing the new thing. And not every time am I able to express it. And that's where a lot of us are starting, where we want to make change. But if you think about it, not to be disheartened, there are things that we've beinonied. How have I beinonied certain things in my life? There are activities like Bali Tshuva coming to yeshiva, and it's like, I can't imagine ever doing that. And then all of a sudden, a few months later, here they are, doing it. In Machanalta, we were talking about, lighting candles was one. It's like what is this, Friday afternoon, lighting candles? Whatever particular issue that a person has or struggles with, that they come to yeshiva, I can't ever imagine doing that. But boom, here they are doing that thing. Now, is there no inner struggle or difficulty getting to get the action done? Not at all. There's definitely still a discussion backwards and forth. There's two voices, one for, one against. But at the end of the day, the person is now doing that activity consistently. That's something that has been beinonied. Internally, there's the discussion and debate backwards and forwards. Externally, though, the person is doing the new action. And if I keep going with this is definitely a flow from rasha to beinoni to tzaddik. If I keep going with that, I can then tzaddik something, which means the whole inner debate, I can get so far past it. This new activity can be so much a part of my life, so much who I am. And this is one of the amazing things about Chassidus, is that not only are we taking on new things, commandments, but we're gaining deep insight into what's accomplished by our actions. We're gaining insight into what we achieve, what we accomplish, how we connect with the creator of the universe, which is the deepest of pleasures. And so we can break through. Lost my train of thought for a second, but we can break through and get to a tzaddik state on these things, which is that this becomes who we are. I'm so connected to this thing, and I can't. And it's not even a discussion internally anymore. Will I do it? Will I not do it? I've tzaddikt that particular thing. Anyway, this was a brief on what is tzaddik, what is rasha, what is beinoni. A hugely important topic in the Tanya, one that often is not clear to students because of language or the length of time, or where to find things in the Tanya, but we'll keep discussing it, and then we've added this other point where we can personally connect to these three terms. Any questions, please message me or put them in the comments. Please share it. Let's keep learning and living the Tanya. Turn off. Well, we'll keep trying. Never give up.